Hello again. I'm Desi Lydic. When I first started this series on our election infrastructure, I was just hoping to boost my brand enough to ditch this job and get on 60 Minutes. But over the last 2 installments, I've learned that our country is on the terrifying brink of election catastrophe, and that 60 Minutes is looking for more of a Hoda Kotb type. I mean, what the hell? I can go brunette if that's what it takes. I don't mind. Anyway, here's our final look at Vote-demic 2022, our crumbling election infrastructure. Who cares? Just roll it.
Well, America, we did it. Election accomplished. Despite a myriad of election problems, including a paper shortage and a lack of poll workers, we successfully pulled off an election, thanks to my reporting. So I'm back with Tammy at Democracy Fund.
Tammy, break time's over. We gotta talk.
To debrief and collect my well-earned thank yous.
Thanks to your work and also my reporting, things are great, right?
It did go mostly really well. We had a couple of hiccups around the country, but in general, it did go fairly well. So we should take a moment and celebrate that.
Tammy, I would love to bask with you. Let's bask. God, it feels good to bask.
It's great to bask in the glory of competence and a well-executed election, but we do still have challenges moving forward.
God damn it, Tammy.
Since the 2020 election officials have been under attack. We know from a recent survey that 1 in 4 of election officials in this country have experienced threats of harassment and abuse. So they're going to be leaving the field, unfortunately, in large numbers.
How many people are getting harassed? Are we talking like a handful or like a shit ton?
Unfortunately, I think it's closer to the shit ton.
You heard Tammy's filthy mouth, a shit ton. And these threats from disgruntled election deniers range from local officials to secretaries of state.
An Arizona elections official was moved to an undisclosed location because of threats to his life.
In Milwaukee, elections executive director Claire Woodall-Vogue has been bombarded by hate.
In Georgia, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, his wife has gotten a barrage of threatening text messages.
If you had to put your finger on it, what or who is responsible for this?
Starting in the 2016 election, we had prominent candidates for the presidential office
Trump.
Who were running saying that the elections were rigged,
DJT.
that there was rampant fraud, that in fact it was illegitimate.
Donald J. Trump.
And that carried into 2020 as well.
Trump.
So that has created an environment that has provided both incentive as well as support for people to target election officials.
Oh, okay, so Trump.
But one of the things you might want to think about is, in fact, talking to somebody who was a local election official in 2020.
Right, yeah, and someone should go do that. Couldn't agree more. Someone should definitely go talk to an election official. Oh, I already did this twice before, I gotta do it again. God.
After being bullied by Tammy to meet with the harassed election official, I'm at City Hall in Philadelphia to speak with Al Schmidt, former Philadelphia City Commissioner and Trump's biggest target during the 2020 election.
In Philadelphia, the city commissioners are responsible for running anything election related, from voter registration to mail-in ballots to election day operations to the final tabulation and certification of the election results. I mean, election administrators are really referees in all of this.
Is it hard to be a referee in Philadelphia, given Eagles fans?
It certainly can be challenging, but we have the best fans in the country.
Can you give some examples of the type of harassment that you received?
Well, the threats were pretty general in nature leading up to Election Day, but in the days that followed, especially after the former president targeted me by name on Twitter, that's when the threats became much more specific and much more graphic, and were largely targeting my family.
I'm sorry, that must have been terrifying.
I fortunately had the Philadelphia Police Department looking after my family sort of night and day. So walking the dog, going to the grocery store, you know, when I took the kids sledding, the Philadelphia Police Department was right there alongside of us.
Yeah, totally get it. I'm in the same boat. The police follow my family and I around at all times for different reasons. Is there accountability for people who harass election workers?
I think there's really two types of accountability that are needed. One is for people who are making threats of violence and clearly breaking the law, trying to coerce the people responsible for counting voters' votes. And also a different sort of accountability for elected officials who are spreading these lies, that I would hope that voters hold them accountable.
Harassers aside, how do you make amends with election deniers? You know, water under the bridge. Water under the bridge.
I've really gone out of my way to make sure that I, go to political meetings and answer questions that people have. And the most recent one I went to, there was an older gentleman in the back who leaned back and said, "Forget about the facts for a moment. Biden lost." Like, that makes it a real challenge to convince someone when their belief system is completely independent of facts.
And as an election official, you could take away that guy's vote, right?
I want him to vote, and I want him to vote in every election.
Do you, though? Do you really?
I do.
Do you really?
I do.
Do you, though?
Most certainly. Every election.
Damn, this guy was good. But with all the harassment civil servants like him are facing, I was beginning to worry that there was no way I could end this story on a positive note.
I think it's a very encouraging sign that we had more people step up to volunteer to work on Election Day in the midterms in 2022 than ever before.
Great. Great. So it's fixed. I did it. I mean, we did it. So there you have it, America. Despite the problems we faced during 2022, thanks to Al and election workers across the country, there's still hope that 2024 won't be a complete shit show. Because I can't do another one of these. I can't.